Welcome in, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. How was your weekend, man? Sounded like it was a little crazy.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre, to be honest with you. We came out of that big party. The last 2 weeks have been kind of bizarre, to be honest with you, Bo. So I came out of that big 4th of July party. We had July 5th. Next year will be July 11th. If you want to attend, put it on your calendar. No, I don't know, it's like 60 people, maybe somewhere around the neighborhood of 60 people showed up at this thing. They were in all over the place. And Bo, the last of them just took off out of the house to go back to their merry little place that they sleep in permanently. And then my friend decided needed a place to live for a little bit while he was looking for him an apartment. So I said, sure, come on down. Oh, well, I need help in my car. Sure. So I caught the red eye up to, what was it? Michigan, someplace. I think I caught it Detroit. I think they were out in Mackinac Island or something. And lo and behold, I flew out to Detroit only to drive that car back here to be looking at your friendly face. And I got to be honest with you, it was a little bit exhausting. Just a little bit.
Yeah. No, I get that. And Margarita Monday. I like the sound of that. I mean, it's only 9 a.m., but let's make it a strawberry one.
What the hell? Why not?
Then it's a smoothie. It's healthy, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have Sonic. Do you guys have Sonic up there, Bo? Is there anything kind of like a Sonic you guys got up there?
Yeah. So we have, I believe we have a Sonic. Okay. I'm not really a Sonic fan, but we do have a location.
Yeah, I never really have been truly a Sonic per se fan. What I do like from Sonic, though, I like their slushies. Like, I like their drinks. That's really kind of what I use Sonic for. I use it more for the drinks. And they got this one slushie now that they poured this whole thing of Red Bull into. And then if you're cool, they'll give you some nerds on top of that.
Okay.
It's honestly very delicious.
I mean, that does sound like it will kill you, but
it is. I will tell you, if you get the smash burger and complement it with that beverage, it's actually really quite excellent. It's not bad. It's really not bad. And I was like, this is not a bad idea. And it's not too terribly expensive, reasonably priced.
Well, I mean, it's fast food, so it shouldn't be horrible. Plus, you can get it to go, so you can just wait in the ER while you eat it, just in case.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn. I mean, what better way to spend? And so I had that. That was the come at home meal, the last meal before I rolled up into the doorstep. That's what we grabbed, and that's what I lived on. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. How was your weekend? Did you do anything festive and fun? And
yeah, so I mean, like it was cool. So Friday night, I had a game, right? Basically, mine was mostly all sports related. So Friday night had a Storm game, did that. Storm had a ugly start and then finished strong, ended up winning. Yesterday's game wasn't a night game, it was a day game. The night games, I don't get home till midnight, and then I had to be up at 4 the next day. So, I just didn't get a lot of sleep this whole weekend. But yesterday's game was a weird game. Like if there was a model of inconsistency, it probably would have been yesterday's game. Now it was Native American Heritage Night. So if you were in the building, they had a halftime show that was pretty cool, but they started the game out really sloppy. The Washington Mystics were, their defense was really aggressive and fast, right? And it was disrupting the Storm. They were able to kind of work through that. The middle of the game, like third quarter specifically, huge quarter, right? Like they put up almost 30 points in that quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, they go into it with a 10-point lead, and the Mystics went back to that defense that they started the game with, and they just absolutely fell apart, ended up losing by, I want to say almost 10. So, I mean, it was kind of ridiculous, but yeah. So, I mean, I imagine the film session on that tomorrow, because I believe they're off today. That film session tomorrow is going to be, I would bet won't be a super fun film session.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine it'd be talking about consistency and playing consistent throughout the game.
Well, and not being rushed on your possessions. So that was one of the questions that I asked during the press conference yesterday, and that's on my YouTube for the people watching. But one of the questions I asked is, what did you see in those times during the game that had you guys running real long into your 24-second clock and, not really getting good looks? And basically they said that they were just feeling rushed through their progressions. And so if you watch the game or you go back and see it, you can see a lot of forced shots that weren't set up very well. And I mean, you lose a lot of games that way.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, because it's the same way in hockey, right? I mean, I was watching hockey when Dallas was in the playoffs. We weren't really getting a whole lot of shots on goal, Bo. It was mostly them keeping the puck down on our end of the floor. So, yeah, you got to make it. You got to take advantage of those shot opportunities when they come around. You don't know how many, at least good, clean shot opportunities you're going to get. And I would imagine it goes the same way for basketball. I don't know how many clean looks you're going to get on the basket, but.
Well, I mean, the thing is if you have good ball movement like they
right.
did in the third quarter, you get good looks, right? So, I mean, similar to hockey, if you get good puck movement, you can get a clean shot because they have to react to where it's going. And, so if you are clean on your setup, that works. Or even in football, right? Like if your quarterback is rushed, it's typically not a great throw. So that's where more mistakes happen. And so that was definitely the case for the Storm last night against the Mystics. It was a game they definitely should have won, but that first and fourth quarter, that really ended up being the difference in that game. So yeah, speaking of the WNBA, they have one more game before the All-Star break, and the Storm do have 3 players going to the All-Star game. But the way that the WNBA does it is it's not East and West. It is a selection process, right? So you end up with 2 captains, like backyard, sports style, 2 captains, they pick their teams, right? And so the Storm players aren't all on the same team. And so I asked that, to a couple of them during our press conference, and I have that clip because it was funny.
Since the team selections for the All-Star game are selected instead of being East and West, you guys get to play against each other.
I'm sick. I'm not guarding her.
It's going to be fun. How do you guys look at that?
I don't want to.
Skylar said it best. My Shayla. My Shayla. I'm obviously just happy to be there. Honestly, it's my first one. The only thing that makes me nervous is I told them I was I'm gonna be like a little lost puppy on the other team. I was looking forward to just following them around and them showing me the reins. But I'm just looking forward to taking every moment in and everything. It is gonna be weird. I'm playing against my UConn teammates and my Seattle teammates. It's funny how that worked out. But maybe this is the universe telling me that I need to meet new people and make new friends, I guess. I don't know.
That is funny. Meet new people, girl.
Well, it was just funny because they're like, I don't want to. I'm not guarding her. It was pretty cool.
That is kind of weird, though, going up against your teammates, in the All-Star game when you feel like you should be on the same team as them, right? It's got to be a weird feeling.
And the NBA had made that shift also, right? Because it used to be East versus West, and then it became this, we have captains and they select their team. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting way to do it. It does give you the opportunity to play against your teammates, which, in some ways playing with your teammates in the All-Star game would be a blast. But then at the same time, you always play with them. So playing against them could be kind of fun too. Plus some bragging rights, right? If your side wins, you're just you got on the wrong side.
I gotta be honest with you, Bill. I don't like it. I like the old school East and West. I like to have that rivalry still. I don't know if I like mixed up stuff. I guess maybe I'm a little bit more old school, and I'm not used to change.
No, so like I'm with you. I liked it when it was East versus West. I also liked it when the winner of that would have had like home field advantage type of stuff. There's a lot of those traditional things that just aren't part of sports anymore. So as it evolves, I guess, I'm a little more open to it than I was when they got rid of those. Cause it's just like, oh man, like that was a cool element of it. And,
Let me ask you this, bud. Let me ask you this. 'Cause I just told you I'm not one that likes change very much. So let me ask you this question. I've heard of this. Now I don't know how much truth in this, Bo. So that's why I'm going to ask you, and I guess all the rest of everybody else is out there. I hear they're talking about possibly maybe next year putting a 4-point line in. Did you hear this? This craziness?
Yeah.
The 4-point line.
So that wasn't put out by any credible.
And that was what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, it got passed around a little bit, but that wasn't put out by anybody credible.
Okay, good.
At least that I saw. At least that I saw. Like nobody, no legacy media picked it up. So that makes me think that there's not a lot behind it because the major leagues feed legacy media that information. Right. So, yeah, I don't think.
Because I got to tell you, if they ever come at the 4-point line, I'm done with basketball. I'm just done.
Yeah, it'd be pretty done. Because
I don't know if I can do it.
Then at that point, people are just launching it from half court.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's really pushing it the way it's played now, much less they have a 4-point line.
So that's cool that you're going, man. The watch for the Sun to play dirty. Every game that I've seen them play, they play a little bit dirty. So, and Seattle's played them 3 times already. So they'll play them one more time. It'll be in Connecticut. But yeah, watch for them to play dirty. They got a couple of players that absolutely will do a little bit of shady action out there. And the officiating in the WNBA isn't like the NBA. So they get away with a lot of things. When the Sun was here on Friday night, there was a couple of hits that were pretty dirty. One of them was on Gabby that ended up being upgraded to a flagrant 1. But if it was the NBA, they would have been ejected immediately. So I'm curious to see what it is you report back with when you go to see that, because I would bet money that the Sun do some dirtiness. What's happening, Chad? And yeah, Scott, you're right. They're in the big 3.
Yeah, that would definitely.
Yeah.
Well, there's a. Oh, that's right. They do have the big 3 does have a 4-point shot, don't they?
It would ruin normal basketball though.
Yeah, I would not want to set normal basketball. That would be very. Yeah.
I wouldn't love that. Like there's some tweaks to rules that I'm like, yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. And then there's some that you're just like, okay, let's calm down, guys. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely true. The game moving to bigger arenas, of course, that has some to do with Caitlin Clark, but it also has to do with some of those smaller market teams were playing in smaller arenas. I mean, because here in Seattle, they didn't change arenas. They're in Climate Pledge Arena, and if and when we get an NBA team back, they'll play in the same facility. It holds just shy of 19,000 people. So I mean, and for Storm games, it's generally pretty full. Like they are usually bringing in somewhere between that like 15 and sellout crowd.
So Steve, it looks like the SEC commissioner opens up to 16-team playoff. Now, I guess they're trying to get it from 12 to 16
In what?
for the college football playoffs.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, that's supposed to happen. Not this year, though. So,
Right.
that's like a year, maybe 2 out. So they're saying up to 16. They think the most likely step will be 14. So it'll go 12 to 14 and then to 16. And I think some of that has to do with the Pac-12 being bowl eligible again by signing Texas State, right? We talked about that last week, I think it was. And so because now you have a eligible conference again, they were already talking about expanding it anyway, but now
Right.
because it's an eligible conference, they may get an automatic bid for being a conference champion. So expanding it is going to make sense. The only downside to going to 16 is you're going to end up with bad teams in there that are just going to
That's
get
my
rolled.
point. It's like you get like about a month of watered down football before you actually get into the meat and potatoes of it all.
Yep.
That's like legitimately nobody should be bitching and griping about not making the playoffs. There better not be one team out there that's bitching about it. You got 16 opportunities to get. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy.
It does add the element of a, like a wild card team being able to do it, right? And like the best examples of that was the Giants, right? New York, not a great team, but they went on great runs. So, I mean, it does give that kind of Cinderella story possibility to it. So, I don't hate it. It's certainly better than the 4 teams that they had before, or the no playoff, and it was just like a voting thing. Just because I remember that when I was a kid, my Washington Huskies shared a title with Miami because there wasn't a championship game. So, I mean, at least it's evolving into like real football. But
I guess I like the fact that we're evolving. I just think 16 is just absurd. It's almost like I think 12 to 14. I thought 12 was perfect. I was like, okay, if you're going to expand, I thought 12 games was the appropriate amount, right? I give you 16 or 12 teams. That's more than enough should be settled in that, right? You should, but if you want to go 14, go 14, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so the good thing, I guess, if you say they go 16, which realistically probably will, because that would make virtually all the bowl games part of the playoff, which, okay. I think then anybody that misses it, there's no argument really. Like if you're the 17th school, go win more games. Like nobody feels bad for you.
Like legitimately, who would honestly feel bad when you have that many teams, in the playoffs? It's almost like you're getting a whole nother season within a season.
Yeah, I mean, if you are the 17th team, you needed to win one more game. So that's on you. Like you didn't have to be perfect. You're not a undefeated team that missed the playoffs or anything like that. This is you didn't win enough games. You're probably a 4-loss team if you're the 17th team. And that's on you, right? Like you got to win games.
Right.
So pretty cool that you're going to a celebrity softball. That's pretty rad, Chad. And I mean, I don't even think you need to ask this. You can probably just go back through Richard Sherman's podcast and find a clip of him saying the Cowboys will never win another game.
I mean, I'm sure there's more than enough of those out there that say the same thing. Yep. My thing with it is, when you go to that many teams and things like that, or that many games in a playoff, you're really putting yourself up for a lot of chances for injury to get to that ultimate game. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if I'm like one of the top 5 teams, in there, I don't want to sit here and have to wait forever or play in more games when I should have to play it, because I feel like you're setting yourself up for opportunities for injury, which could end your season. Playing that many games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like to Scott's point here, your top 4 teams probably have buys.
But I wonder how many buys would they get in that type of?
Well, in his scenario, he's saying double buy. That would actually be a problem to have that much time off, because only would you have those 2 bye weeks, but there's always a separation week also. So, I mean, they could have not played football for almost a month by the time they would be playing a meaningful game. So that's a good way to ultimately just lose, because you haven't played.
Because that's the one thing that would bother me is to have that long layoff period.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that. That would actually, you'd almost always see number 1 seeds get dunked on, right? Because you'd be having teams that are on a roll coming up against a team that's been sleeping for almost a month. So
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that scenario. I'm sure they would get at least a bye week, but I mean, you figure even if it's 16 teams, it's only 8 games, right? Like it's not like it's not basketball where there's 72 teams or whatever. Like you're saying there's going to be 8 games. I mean that's pretty manageable, right? Because I mean most of those are going to be played on the same weekend. So,
I think it's just the amount of time. If you're the upper seeded teams, it's a lot of time in between your game and their game. But I don't know how they're formatting it either. They, like you said, they might do X number of games on, play X number of games, whatever. I don't know what their format is. So,
well, yeah, that first round. So say say you have, say you have your teams that are on bye. So you have 2 on each side, and then, so then you have, 5 games or 6 games rather getting played that first weekend. Have those games start the week right after, right? So there's no bye week for them. They just go right from their final game.
Right.
Then it's just the 2, the 1 week layoff for them. So they play 2 weeks later for the guys that are, that had the buys.
Okay.
So, I mean, because, then that could work. That's more or less just like normal playoffs at that point.
Yeah, because I really think that's the hardest part when you start introducing more teams in there is filling the time to where everybody isn't necessarily, like you said, getting stagnant. Because that's one thing that I would almost tell my guys, hey, look, let's not get number 1, because if we get number 1, we're going to have this long layoff. I'd rather kind of be somewhere in the middle of the pack, or at least playing games to stay in conditioning going through the process.
Well, I mean, you say that once you lose in the first round, and then you're like, I wish we had a bye.
I mean, you're right. I mean, because you're right. It could work against you too. So
yeah, because I mean, the less games you have to play, the more chance you have to win, right? Because I mean, it's hard to win football games. So, I mean, I don't know that there's a great answer. The great answer is the fact that there is a playoff instead of just sheerly voting. Voting is still
I hate that voting thing,
Well, and sadly, it's still an element of it. So, I mean, you're still going to have somebody that gets in their feelings because they weren't included. But because it's expanded to the way that it is.
There's nobody's feelings getting hurt this go around or next go around, whatever it is, right? I mean, they're not going to get their feelings hurt.
Well, I mean, someone probably will. But
because you said you have what, 16 games, right?
Well, 16 teams. It'd be 8
games.
Excuse
me, 16 teams. I apologize, 16 teams. So I mean, I think like you said, if you're number 17, maybe you should have won an extra game, guy.
Well, and that's the thing. Because I mean, I even like it just as the 12, right? Because then all the teams that get in are good teams. They have winning records, but the 4 teams really didn't make sense, especially when you had the Power 5 conference, right? You would think that something that's designed around a university, which I believe, I could be mistaken, but their primary function is to teach math and normal school stuff. And for some reason, 5 doesn't go into 4 very well. Which is why you ended up with, Florida State being undefeated and then getting bounced out, because it was a voting situation as opposed to who deserved to be there. Once you're in that 12, 14, 16 range, voting is still a little bit of a key to it, but records will weigh much heavier on it.
I would
So you
imagine
won't
so.
have one-loss teams bouncing out an undefeated team.
Right. 'Cause that's what that's what always kind of made me mad was, you could be a number one ranked team, but if you're not a well liked university or a well known university or strictest schedule or whatever they want to put on top of that, they'll just bump you down to the rankings to like 20th or 24 or whatever they think you should be at, even though you're undefeated or maybe you only have one loss, and everybody else has higher up have 2 losses or whatever. You got to imagine there's a lot of there is a little bit of favoritism in there at some level.
Oh, sure. And Scott, they may be looking. I understand what you're saying about being done by mid-January, but they may want to have that game now, the first weekend of February, because they're going to add. Ultimately, they're going to go to the 18-game schedule for the NFL, which would then have the Super Bowl pushed back one more week, which is going to be on purpose because that will land on a Sunday just before a holiday. It's like President's Day or Columbus Day or one of those days that some people, if you're a banker, you get it off. So, the NFL is going to extend it, another week or so. So they may be trying to get the college experience to last until that first week of February now too. I remember when all this stuff used to be done at like New Year's Day.
Not anymore, though. Not anymore. You're right. It has gotten pushed back, more and more here recently. So, I mean, I remember when it used to be like that too.
Yeah.
Not anymore, Ghost Rider. Now you get all the way to February.
Yeah. And now it's not even the first weekend of February, right? Like this last year, it was like the 12th or something. So
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All that with an 18-game schedule, and then didn't we say it could eventually get to a 20-game schedule at some point?
Yeah, it would be. I
can't
imagine
a 20-game schedule.
Well, I can't imagine you get rid of all the preseason games. Like, I get they start saying, "Oh yeah, you'll just have the joint practices and whatever," but those still aren't live speed, right?
Right.
A couple of talent evaluating games in the preseason. I mean, because now you don't have starters play at all, really. So those games are essentially just for the guys that are trying to make the team. I can't imagine if you get rid of all of them. I understand there's a lot of conversation about it, but it just seems like it would be bad for the sport to do that.
Well, there's a lot of things I think that have done that have been bad for the sport, but they do it anyway. So
no, that's for sure. And let's be honest, Scott. Football is basically 12 months anyway. The NFL has almost assured that you are talking about them all year, right? Because you get through the playoffs, and college is similar because of their spring game, and then the way their transfer portals are. People are constantly moving around. So, I mean, they've found a way to make football a 12-month talking point. The NFL looks at, you go right from the Super Bowl, and then, you have free agency start, and then you have the draft, and then you have the second wave of free agency, rookie mini camps, and then we have this, some OTAs. And now you have this little window right now where there's like 3 weeks of nothing really when it comes to football.
Yep.
Then you get into a couple more of the OTAs, and then it's this, summer practices, and you're off to the races. So, I mean, we're only a couple of weeks away from people reporting to camp.
Yeah, we're literally in that window now. Hey, real quick, since we're talking about camps and things like that, when is it in Major League Baseball? What is the trade deadline? What is the last day to make a trade? Is that coming?
What are we, 2 weeks away from that? A week away from that? Something like that?
We got to be right in that window.
The trade. Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
I'm thinking that we were within a week. We were a week or two window, either before it or after. And I think it's after. I think it's after the All-Star, though.
I think it's somewhere like late July, I guess. Oh, it's literally the 31st.
Oh, okay. So the 31st of this month.
Yep, last day of the
Okay.
month. So
Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
that's what I thought. I thought it was a couple weeks out yet. So
See, the reason why you don't know is because y'all don't make that many trades, so it's never really on your radar. Don't,
we don't.
hey, don't
We
worry.
really,
Hey, neither do the Astros. We usually do
Yeah.
ours at the beginning of the season, or we just don't do it.
pretty much. Yeah, we don't really do anything useful. Yeah, I mean,
we
the
are
only thing we
desperate
do,
need too of a pitcher. We are.
the only thing we do at the trade deadline is when we're really bad, we sell players, but we rarely actually make beneficial moves. And then I saw Scott's thing. We just weren't talking about baseball yet, but yeah, the Red Sox are on a tear. That being said, I mean, the Mariners, I think, are 6-4 in their last 10. So it's not like it actually might even be better now that they swept Detroit. Let's see.
Yeah, you're actually looking pretty good going into All-Star break. I limped into the All-Star break.
Yeah, so we went 6-4 in the last 10. Yeah, you guys were 4-6. We were able to make up a little bit of ground here, so we're 5 games back. Obviously, we have you guys coming right out of the All-Star break.
Literally right out of it.
Yeah,
And I think that's in Seattle because then you got another one. We play again. I want to say it's either August or September, right before the end of the season. In that one's in Houston. So we play you guys 2 more times before the season's even over.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because the East is on a run here. So you got the Blue Jays with 55 wins, the Yankees and Red Sox both with 53, and the Rays with 50. And we're sitting at 51. So I believe we would just barely be the last wild card spot. Let's see.
That's interesting.
Let's double check that. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're just in there by like a game and a half over the Rays. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, that whole division is.
Yeah, I think this second half you're going to see a lot of tightening up because we got you guys twice. You're going to see a lot of interdivisional maneuvering. I think. So and it really depends on how Houston's bullpen shapes up. If we don't add another veteran pitcher or get a veteran pitcher off of the IL, then Houston's gonna be in a little bit of a pickle once you get past, Valdez and Hunter Brown because Lance McCullers has not. He's still trying to round back into form off Tommy John, so he's not going to be himself. So really, I mean, once you get past our first 2, unless we can really get another third pitcher to come in there, fourth pitcher to come in there via the trade deadline or whatever, it's gonna be an interesting playoffs there, Bo.
I mean, the thing that's funny is you keep talking down about your pitching, but I mean, your pitching has actually shown up for you despite the fact that you've had so many injuries.
Right. Trust me. I mean, when you look at all the spot starts, you're right by Gusto and Walton and Gordon and things like that. We've had some good spot starts, but spot starts in regular season are going to be the same as starts in postseason. And I don't know if they're makeup because I mean these are guys that are literally coming off a AAA farm team, and then all of a sudden, if we make it to the World Series, if we get that far, now they're pitching in the bigger games of their lives. So I don't know how that's going to translate. Maybe we get lucky like that. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know of too many teams that have done that, honestly, that had that kind of a makeup and go far.
No, I mean, not generally, but it does happen, right? Like sometimes you get lucky that it happens. And I do kind of agree with you here, Scott. Like I liked the idea of playing everybody, but losing some of the division games that were huge games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, division games were always so big, and now they mean even more because there's less of them. But at the same time, they don't necessarily mean more because you have to play so well against everyone else also to win your division. So Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I'd like to see a little more of our divisional games just because the rivalries are there and they're always exciting. So, but I think that again is where all of us are a little bit old school and not happy to see elements change all the time. But
Yeah, I mean, I just want more divisional games because it gives me more opportunities to try to get, try to get back in the game in my division. If I don't play them, but maybe once or twice in a year, well, you're not really giving me a whole lot of opportunities to really compete within the division. And that's really what we want to do, is compete more.
Yeah, and that's true whether or not you're trying to climb back in or if you're trying to extend a lead, right? Like you're trying to create that buffer. Like, hey, we got some tough other games coming up. Let's create some space within our division, right? So I mean, it's yeah, I'm with you. I like playing our divisions a little bit more, but it is kind of fun that they get to play everybody now instead of, oh, this team hasn't played this person since this team since '95, and it's like, okay, well, I mean.
Right.
Some of that you like to see go away, but I feel like there was probably easier ways to do that.
Oh, I'm sure there's definitely easier ways to do that. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how this all pans out. So far, like I said, I just me personally, I would like to see more divisional games. Maybe next year we'll get more divisional games. I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, also another thing I'm looking forward to is how does this electronic umps, is that still going to roll out next year? I'm curious to see how that comes through fruition.
Well,
is that in the postseason this year?
It is in the postseason this year. In fact, it should be in the All-Star game also. And yeah, that would be good. To see a couple more of those games. Again, in the division, they're always fun. They're always exciting. Yeah, the robot umps, they're not coming anytime soon. Like if they do come, they're still a few years out, right?
Right.
They're going to do the challenge program. They'll probably try that out for a few years. Next year, I would bet money it's implemented because it was successful in the preseason. We're going to see it tomorrow. And, and then it's going to be in the postseason play also. So I would bet money based on them doing it in those scenarios. We see it full time next year. At that point, if there's too many challenges that are won, that's where robo umps all of a sudden become a real conversation. And it's possible. It's possible. And if you want to bet on whether or not we get robot umps, you can do it right here with Coast to Coast. 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee in case they don't. Use the QR code on the screen. Sign up today. Also, if you're here in the Pacific Northwest, you can use this QR code here. Free 5-day pass at any of the 3 True Fusion Gym locations here in Western Washington, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village. Find your edge, True Fusion Gym. In fact, if you are here in the Pacific Northwest, you will see them on Evening Magazine today.
I have to see Bo do some Pilates. That's an interesting experience. Look at Bo. Look at his form. He got perfect form out there.
Yep. Done it a couple times.
Oh, I'm sure you've done it a couple of times. You're that kid back there in the back, but mom made you go and you didn't want to go. Damn it. Hurry up and get through. Maybe it's just me and my mom made me go. God, I remember those days like they were yesterday. Mom would go to the gym. We'd have to go it's called Mother's Day Out, which is basically just that is just prison for little kids at the gym.
The thing that's funny is I actually like going to the gym even as a kid. So yeah, that was never really an issue for me.
Was your gym dark though, Bo? It was dark. It had orange lights. It was very traumatizing. Very
traumatizing. The first gym that I went to, I wasn't actually old enough to do the weight floor, although sometimes the staff would let me do it anyway. It was this place called Gold Creek, and it's not really there anymore. I think it's just like a golf and tennis place now. But it was kind of a neat place the way it was constructed because it had like a dome, so it looked like a shrunk down version of the King Dome. And
nice.
it had an outdoor and an indoor pool. They actually held like racquetball tournaments there. Going from the main gym to like the racquetball place, that was like a dungeon hallway because it was this really long, dark hallway. It was about as sketchy looking as it could be. If you've ever seen a horror movie where like a big hallway and you're like, oh yeah, someone's going to murder me at the end of that. That was this hallway going to where the racquetball courts were. It was really funny. I don't know why there wasn't good lighting in there, but there was not good lighting. And there was like prison windows. They were like these small windows way up on the wall, so you couldn't see out them anyway. It just kind of light a little bit of light through. But the main part was really neat because it had, a basketball court and pickleball, had an elevated, like a second floor track that went around the dome. So you'd be running up there and you everything down in the dome, and then the gym was off to the opposite, the edge of it,
right?
And, probably one of the coolest things that was in there that I've never seen in another gym is they had a rowing machine, and instead of just the little timer so you could see what you were doing, right? Theirs had a game, so you had to stay within a speed, and then at the end you had to do a sprint. You had to outrun a shark. Right?
Oh, hey, no.
But I was a kid, and so I could never outrun the shark. It always ate me. But
I bet that shark would have got me several times. I'd have been done and game over.
Oh, yeah. No, it was fun, though. I did the rowing machine way more than I probably ever needed to because I was always like, I'm going to outrun this shark.
Shark's over there freaking me out. Going through the 7 stages of life. What was I thinking before I got on this damn contraption?
Yep. Pretty much. No, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I might have beat the shark a couple of times, but like, I always just remember like, God damn it, it ate me again.
I just can't keep my pinky toe.
And she's laughing because she knows that hallway was like this weird, dark, serial killer looking hallway.
I'm sure it was. With all the evangelists preaching as you walk down the hallway of doom.
Pretty much. Like if they had a smoke machine, it would have been perfect. You get a couple of those like fluorescent lights to flicker, and you're like, "Oh yeah, we all die today."
Are you saved, little boy? Would you like to treat out of my pocket?
And since we're doing segues, speaking of Elway is not going to be prosecuted for his buddy that fell out of.
Why would he? He's a rich guy.
Well, no, I mean, so they were looking.
That's what rich people do.
Well, I mean, money can cure all, but they did have a lot of eyewitnesses and camera angles and whatever. Yeah. So it sounds like they didn't find anything malicious. It was just a legitimate tragedy. So they're not going to continue with any kind of wrongful death suits or anything like that. So
man, I guarantee you they were out there on that golf course living their best life. Took that turn a little too fast.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, for all of our friends that do dumb stuff,
I'm just saying,
who hasn't done dumb stuff in a golf cart? I played speed golf where we were essentially playing polo out the side of it. Like, you might have fallen out and hurt yourself doing that. I mean,
money doesn't save you from doing stupid shit. It just makes it more painful, I guess, or maybe it makes it more entertaining. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Well,
there.
I mean, I think age is really what made it more dangerous, right?
You on that too. You got. I mean, come on, John. Hey, you got off on that one.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like drunk people on a golf course in a golf cart. I mean,
what did you expect? Of course, they're drunk on a golf course,
right? Like I've jumped a golf cart before. Like I mean, so I mean, like, come on. I don't feel like John Elway was trying to get his friend killed, right? Like it was
not like he was doing Frank the Tank down to the quad. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm glad to hear they're not pursuing him. Because from all accounts, it just sounded like drunk people in a golf cart doing dumb stuff, and it went wrong. And because of the age, he ended up passing away. If he was younger, those injuries might not have taken him out, right? I mean,
I guarantee you, the guy that fell off the golf course and died, he probably said, I would have done the same thing, and I guess it would have been his turn. I mean, I'm sure they all do it. I'm sure he's not the only one, is my point, right? So, I mean, it's probably like, just drunk people and drunk rich people, and this is
well,
what
I mean,
we
the
do.
thing is they always say wisdom comes with age, but sometimes age comes alone. Like sometimes you just still
It
do
just comes. It just comes. It really does just come. And it
But
happens.
so in any event, he's not going to be prosecuted, so that is good.
Good for John that way.
We do
Must
have
be the years of getting off, because didn't P. Diddy just get off some serious stuff?
yeah.
I think he got off. I think he beat the racketeering. I think he got the transportation of a prostitute, which is probably just a slap in the hand in P. Diddy world. So
Yeah, no, like all of the major things he got,
all rich people just go back to rich people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, money definitely helps in our legal system. There's no doubt.
I mean, we go back to rich people's lives. That's what we do.
I mean,
I don't do that. I don't have rich people money, so I don't know what that feels like. But
I'm just saying, I'd give it a try. I've tried the broke guy side.
I've tried the broke guy long enough.
They tell you money can't make you happy, but I want to try and find out. I found out being broke doesn't make me happy either. We're at the All-Star break, and we do have Home Run Derby tonight. Who do you have winning this thing? I gotta go for my hometown guy. We gotta
You're
pull
probably
for
going
Cal.
Rodriguez. Is it Rodriguez? Is that who's in there for you?
No, Cal.
Oh, Cal Raleigh's in there for you? Okay.
Yeah, the big dumper, the guy he ended up with one less than Barry Bonds before the All-Star break.
You know what? I'm probably gonna stay. I'm probably gonna ride the Cal Raleigh train too. I know he's been hitting them pretty good. So Houston doesn't have anybody honestly ripping the ball off the cover. So I'll go Cal Raleigh. That one.
Yeah, I mean that's the route I'm going. There's definitely some dudes.
I'm gonna ride that hot hand. If you got the hot hand, I'm gonna ride that. Is Otani? Is he doing it this year too? Is he in the All-Star Home Run Derby, or is he elected to forego it?
I believe he was, but let me.
Yeah, how do you have an All-Star game and no Otani? That would be great. Or even what's the other guy there? Bobby Witt Jr. Is Bobby Witt Jr. in it?
I'm double checking the roster.
I'd be curious to know if Bobby Witt Jr. is in this roster, or even if Pete Alonso's in there.
What is? Let's see. We got. I don't know why that's not opening. Let's see. So we got Atlanta's Matt Olson.
Okay.
Washington's James Wood, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, Junior Caminero. Cal. Jazz from New York.
Oh, okay.
Buxton from the Twins.
Ooh, Buxton's a good one too, though.
Cruz from the Pirates. Let's see. Rooker from the Athletics. And that's it.
Yeah, when you said Buxton's name, Buxton, he's been on my fantasy league. He's been ripping it up. I am going to stick with the hot hand in Cal Raleigh, though. I still think it's him. But if anybody gives him a challenge, I think look for Buxton to make some noise in the home run derby. I don't know how far he's going to go, but I think Buxton's going to make some noise.
A lot of people are liking Jazz also.
Okay, that's interesting.
The thing that's funny, though, right? So you got Olson, 17, right? Wood, 24. Junior with 23. Cal has 38.
Yeah.
Jazz has 17. Buxton has 21. Cruz has 16. Rooker has 20. Right. So, I mean, like, nobody's even really close to where Cal is.
No.
So, but
I wonder why Judge never competes. Why does Judge not compete in the home run derby?
I mean, you got to want to, right? I mean, he may just not want to. Some people are also superstitious about it because they think that it might mess their swing up because you do hit the ball a little differently. So, so some people do worry about it kind of ruining the second half of their season if they go in and mess their swing up trying to, play the home run derby.
I mean, I get that too. Because you wouldn't want to mess your swing up necessarily, so I get that. Oh.
Exactly. Don't walk down the hallway. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it'll be fun to watch. I haven't watched the home run derby very intently over the last 5 years. Like, I'll catch the highlights of it, but I might actually watch this one tonight.
Yeah, I don't really watch the home run derby too much either, but yeah, I might give it a shot tonight too, because there's really not a whole lot of sports on. I mean, tonight's kind of a low night for sports, so I probably will watch it.
Yeah, there's a couple of I think there's a couple of WNBA games tonight. There's a couple tomorrow, and then Wednesday, and then they're done for their All-Star break.
Do y'all have a game tonight, the Storm?
No. We had it last night, so our next one is is Wednesday, and that'll be the last one before their All-Star break. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there we go. So there's a couple of them tonight. Yeah, this Wednesday game is going to be tough for the Storm because they played wildly inconsistent in their last 3 games, and the team they're going up against is the Valkyrie that has owned them their first two times against them. So they're going to have to really figure some stuff out if they're gonna come away with a win with that. Yeah, that'll be a good game. That'll be a good game.
This has a ring to it. Golden State Valkyrie, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're a good team, right? This is their first year in the league, and they're playing good basketball, and they're taking down good teams. They've lost a couple of games they probably shouldn't have, but I mean, they're playing exceedingly well for the first year in the league.
I gotta tell you though, I don't know about how you feel about this NBA season coming up, but especially with my team and a couple other teams around the league, I'm really curious to see how these new lineups are going to shape out. Going into the season, because Houston's did some crazy stuff. We'll see what that Oklahoma City really hasn't had to do anything. I mean, they just kept their basic team, but that's really all they need to do.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm curious to see how this. I'm really curious to see how this whole Kevin Durant thing pans out. If Houston's going to regret this, or
Oh, Houston's going to regret that. Yeah.
So that's how I feel. I feel like for some reason I just have in the back of my mind that we're going to regret this. At some point. Because I don't know if giving up on Green was the right thing to do. I still feel like he has a lot of basketball. He's just a young kid trying to learn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing is that I don't know. It's just a weird construction of a team.
It is, isn't it? Though I mean, I mean, seriously though. I mean, when I look around, even when I look around the league, it's just with the exception of probably maybe the Pacers, maybe OKC. A lot of teams have really tried to go out there and really try to make radical changes. I don't know if I buy into that whole radical change on a team concept, right? I still feel like you need to have your core there, and you just change. Maybe you tweak around the core.
Well,
how do you get the continuity in your team if you're constantly, going for the hot hand or whatever the hot hand is?
I wouldn't say Durant was really getting a hot hand.
But you know what I mean, though, right? Like it's just like,
yeah. No, I mean, again, like my biggest thing with that team is who's your guy?
yes, exactly. I
Who's
agree
your,
with that.
who's your actual leader? Because you got a bunch of guys
Right.
on there that are great talents, but none of them want to be the leader, and that's
Right.
a problem. Like they're not a jellyfish. They don't just exist and then somehow figure it out. Like this is you need something driving the boat, and they just got a bunch of guys that don't want to be the guy.
Yeah, because I mean, I would have taken an Ayton, I would have taken a Miles Turner before I took Durant.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, if Durant, so here's the thing: is Durant is a fantastic shooter, right?
he's just old.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's my knock on him, right? I'm saying that's why I don't like it, is just because there's a lot of mileage on those tires, you know.
sure, but he's still a great shooter. So as long as he doesn't have to be the leader and the guy, and he can play a little
Right.
bit off ball,
Right.
he can be a great asset.
Yeah.
But what you gave up to go get him makes me think they want him to be the guy. And if that's the
Right.
case, that's a problem.
That's going to be a huge freaking problem. I really think Amen Thompson, though, has a lot of backbone, and he's a very vocal guy. I almost kind of see Amen Thompson kind of taking over the leadership role of that team because he looks to be that kind of more vocal person, it seems. So I wouldn't mind seeing him take up that spot on the team and just let Durant be Durant. Just go out there and rock, dude. Throw the
Well, and
ball up,
that's
put the ball in the hoop. Let's go.
And that's where Durant's good,
Yeah.
right? Like if he can have someone else running the show and doing all the things,
Right.
Durant's right? Like amazing basketball talent. But as soon as he has to be the leader and the face of everything, it just
Right.
doesn't work. So that being said, gets us to the top of the hour. So here on this Monday was, not a lot of sports going on. Hopefully tonight people are watching the Home Run Derby. Should be kind of fun. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Watching on Roku, stay tuned for the next hour. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.